like we're looking at some kind of underground tunnel. Another underground base, it looks like. An entrance for aircraft and vehicles. Monoliths. Possibly a UFO. That's what it looks like. Another underground tunnel. An entrance to another tunnel. Possibly a UFO or some kind of dome. Ancient structures is what I would have to guess. Another monolith. That I'm not sure. More ancient structures. The question is, were there people in Antarctica before we got there?
Americans are now being deported from Mexico.
Breaking news. The president of Mexico has stated that he will begin to deport Americans that have moved to Mexico without proper documentation, aka illegal immigrants. This comes after the president of Mexico states that he is tired of Americans gentrifying cities in Mexico. In the past 3 weeks, we have seen different events where Americans try to colonize beaches, public areas, and even salsa. While a lot of these Americans have moved to Mexico for a better life, they moved there because they cannot afford to live here in the United States. So move to Mexico so they can afford a lifestyle there. But locals have raised their prices because Americans are paying in dollars, while locals that are still shopping have to pay in pesos and now have to pay the equivalent of the dollar. And instead of these people moving to Mexico and bettering the economy, they're making it horrible for the people that live there. You know, the natives. And if you already did not know, the amount of Mexicans migrating to the United States has slowed down by the 100,000 since 2019. The amount of Mexicans living in the United States leaving willingly back to Mexico has increased drastically. And while Mexicans are moving back to Mexico, a lot of Americans have been moving to Mexico for a better life. But my, how the tables have turned.
Wait. Hold up. You mean to tell me that nobody ever knew about Glenn Rogers, the convicted serial killer, and this person was Nicole Simpson's handyman? What? There's even a documentary back in 2012 that he even said he committed the crime of killing Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman. Nobody knew this. Why am I just now finding out about this? Isn't it funny that this is just now coming about and the media, I guess, suppressed it after OJ died? That's very suspicious. They said from the span of 93 to 95, he committed over 60 murders. 60! He was known as the cross-country killer or the Casanova killer, and he was known for killing women. So that explains it all. It's like they intentionally did this because he was never brought up as a witness. He was never brought up as a suspect. Nothing. Goes to show you that nothing is what it seems. So just listening to the media, you can't even believe anything you hear nowadays.
This what was caught at the border.
Okay. What's your feeling? Ma'am, put your feet in so we can close the doors. Okay. Just go for the door.
Watch this. This is definitely a spiritual war. It's not a spiritual war. Now just imagine how many made it in without being caught. Get prayed up.
Backed up.
Loaded up, stacked up. Look at this, man.
Hold on. Hey, get your,
Come on, this is spirit.
get your foot back in there. Get your foot back in there. Ma'am.
The spirit said to Jesus, my name is Legion because I am many. Oh, shit.
Get your feet back in there. Bro. We're going to have to Sure, and yeah.
This is not about humans. This is about a very evil dark force who really enjoy to destroy all life on this planet. And it's still on. And I was enjoying them as well. I really, and I don't say it with regret because I'm going back now in time, otherwise it's a fake. I really enjoyed it to have the opportunity to destroy all humans and all life on Earth. Nature was nothing. It was to be destroyed. We were hating everything what represent life, what represent the creator of heaven and earth.
Selena, appreciate it.
Don't take this very light. You can't imagine, I understand that, not all can understand this, but this is going on till today. In the end, because I can give you all the details about everything I did in this world, like indirectly I was killing people. Like you are in a stealth bomber, dropping bombs. I did this financial-wise as missions, like destroying temporarily the economy of Italy. And then later on, when you are in the financial market, you listen to the people who were involved, and they have a big laugh because some people were killing themselves because their companies were destroyed and they left behind women with children. And we have only a laugh about it. We joined it. That's the world I come out. My turning point,
How you laugh about something?
that I was so good in everything I did with my team that I was, in their opinion, ready for the last stage to be invited in sacrifice of children. That hits me. That was really going through my bunker. I couldn't handle it. It was hitting me like hell. I didn't go there, and I started to malfunction. And my whole career falls apart.
Right now, and I'm sitting in my nation's capital now, and I'm telling you from my experience, the people that you elect to run your country are puppets. They are not the true wielders of power. Donald Trump likes to call this the deep state. And I'm going to tell you now that the deep state is alive and well in Australia. And it is alive and well in the UK. Of course, it's alive and well in the United States. We're all seeing that play out right now.
I have a friend who has spent a lot of time with super powerful people, and he told me about a meeting that he had with one individual in particular who spoke about being an apex predator. He said that apex predators don't care about prey, and even though the prey that he was referring to was still his own species, it was really haunting, the story, the way that that was told to me, because you had someone who not only had the motivation to be able to go and enact whatever nefarious, malicious plan, but also had the actual resources to be able to go and do it, right? Those two things together they're scary, and that was something that really opened my eyes. I'm very non-conspiratorial in the way that I think. I always lean toward, do not attribute to malice that which can be explained by stupidity. Do not attribute to coordination that which can be explained by coincidence. And yet, the more that I read and the more that I learn about things, the more there seems to be there.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. I love you, Richard Mill. What do you do for a living? It's for Ava Rancho. Excuse me. I love you, Richard Mill. What do you do for a living? It's for Ava Rancho.
because these people stole the economy from you. And it's also that nobody can have any power. Like, bro, look how they tax us. They tax us with all this shit, but yet they print as much money as they need. So they take half of your money, and then they print whatever else they need.
It's a heist.
The rest of the money that you have. You see that?
Right.
But most people don't understand how that works, so they're not up in arms about it. If most people understood that these people are taxing us, and by the way, we're all taxed. When we add it all up, equal or more than half of our income. When we consider sales tax, the cost of ownership, a property tax, fucking tax when you buy shit, tax when you sell shit, income tax. Most people only think about income tax. But when you add it all together, you're paying over 50%, which means you're a slave to the government, okay? And then the money you're left with, they are printing trillions of dollars on the backside, which means the money you get to keep isn't worth as much. And most people don't understand this basic reality of economics. And because they don't...
You can see here, the Supreme Court supposedly effectively abolished the right to mass protest in 3 different U.S. states. It's no longer safe to organize a protest in Louisiana, Mississippi, or Texas, and I'll let you know everything you need to know about this. The Supreme Court announced on Monday that it would not hear McKesson versus Doe. The decision not to hear McKesson leaves in place a lower court decision that effectively eliminated the right to organize a mass protest in the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. Under that lower court decision, a protest organizer faces potentially ruinous financial consequences if a single attendee at a mass protest commits an illegal act. They want to keep you in order, all while violating your very amendments. The court recently reaffirmed the strong First Amendment protections enjoyed by people like McKesson and Counterman versus Colorado. Supposedly, that decision held that the First Amendment precludes punishment for inciting violent action unless the speaker's words were intended, not just likely, to produce imminent disorder. As if it ever wasn't obvious, no one who organizes a mass event attended by thousands of people can possibly control the actions of all those attendees, regardless of whether the event is a political protest, a music concert, or the Super Bowl. So does that mean we can't have mass parades now? I swear government officials are just walking contradictions at this point. But look at this, people. So if protest organizers can be sanctioned for the illegal action of any protest attendee, no one in their right mind would ever organize a political protest again. Right before the election, people, it's pretty obvious what's happening here. And I'm telling you honestly right now, if Biden receives a second term, our entire country is ruined. As if it wasn't already sold to the highest bidder anyway. Awakening in America. And the only reason that Americans don't think that's actually realistic is because all of you rely on mainstream news and media to paint this image of truth for you, thus not allowing yourself to actually form an opinion for yourself in the first place. Americans rely on the central government for every single supposed necessity that they require. What's that sound like to you? Because do keep in mind, this beautiful green realm around us should be free to explore in the first place. But you gotta love capitalism and becoming mindless consumers, right? We give in to every single decision that they make for us. Because none of you feel as if you have a voice of your own. It's pathetic, it's pitiful, and it does nothing for humanity moving forward. But look at this, the nation's highest court decided Monday not to hear McKesson versus Doe, okay? Leaving in place a decision by the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals that punishes protest organizers with extreme financial consequences if even one participant commits an illegal act. This Mississippi and Louisiana makes it dangerous and practically impossible to organize mass protests. As if Texas doesn't already have enough issues. Anybody seen the recent movie Civil War? Because God, it sounds pretty damn similar. If you think you are free living in America, you are absolutely wrong. But I'll tell you who is, the over 10 million undocumented migrants that have crossed the border since 6 months ago. From 25 different nations, people, with seemingly only 5% of those individuals being families. Which doesn't really mean anything because they're all left out in the streets anyway. But I want you to think about this, okay? If you give somebody a certain amount of money that they've never actually had before, do you think they'll voluntarily become a line of defense for the people who gave them that money? Think about it for a minute, okay? And then look into 15-minute cities and you tell me what that sounds like. It's really not hard to put 2 and 2 together, people. And if you're going to vote this year, actually do it right for once.